Uh, Thank you very much for joining us today for the Blue Zone Fitness Fusion. I have to tell you that this particular part of the course is another one of the action parts of the course. And I'm so fired up to go through this course with you today because I feel like fitness is such a big part of this. If you don't have the fitness element in your process, then you're probably missing out on one of the key motivators and the key ways to get this done. And last week, if in case you missed it, we talked about the diet decoder. And obviously, if you don't have a diet plan, something that's put in place for you for this program, then you're going to miss out on the other half of how this really works. So this particular week, it's so exciting. We have Dr. Izon with us today. Hopefully we'll go through an interview with him if you're able to stay on to the end. Also want to just drive right into this today so that we can get right to the heart of our program. And so this is part of the longevity course. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. This is part of the longevity course. This is our fitness fusion. And really, this is centered and centric to people that are living here, either, in the United States or in your own local area. You're not living in a blue zone, which if you read Dan Butler's book, Secrets of Longer Living, or if you've seen the Netflix series, Live to 100, and I'll put that on the screen as well. But if you've looked at any of that information, you'll see that there's these blue zone pockets all over the world, and they actually participate in exercise, these little things that they're doing every day. And it's really, really interesting what they're doing and how they're doing it and how this aids to your longevity. But how do we do that incorporating in a modern society? How do we incorporate blue zone practices and philosophies and put that into our modern society? And that's where we're at today. And that's the purpose of this course. So thanks again for joining us today, because that's really the thrust of this course, is how we can take, a person who has a normal or active life and start infusing this into their daily lives. So right here, you're going to look at the longevity blueprint. This is the overall blueprint of the course. And as we've said before, we are now finishing out phase one, the foundational habits with the fitness fusion. Before that, we did the diet decoder. Now, next week, we start the Nature Navigator and the connection catalyst and the stress solver. That'll be the next series happening every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And for anybody that doesn't know, and for the cheap seats out there, my name is Robert Shockey. I'm one of the founders here at Quantus Life, and we look at how we can actually involve people into just a daily habit, into daily enhancement of their lives, and how can we support that activity. I myself had to do that. I had to rearrange my life. I had to say, you know what, the course I was on was not a healthy course, and how do we do that? And by doing that, we created Quantus Life. And by creating Quantus Life, we have touched thousands of people's lives and helping them improve their life, which is so rewarding for me personally. And on a personal note, some people say, well, you probably were in shape all of your life. And there was a large part of my life where I was in shape. I was a diver. I was in the United States Marine Corps. I'm a retired veteran. And yes, did I participate in regular activities? Did I swim? Did I do that? Yes. But there was a point in my life where I just sort of gave up, and that was during COVID. And I said, what are we doing this for? And I got depressed and lost someone in my life. And I ballooned up to 250 pounds, you can see in the picture. And here, you'll also see that, I also landed in the hospital, which is not a good place to be. And additionally, I had also changed the course of my life and said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and make this course correction. I'm going to take daily activity. And I got myself down to 220 pounds, and I made a huge impact in my fitness. I made a huge impact in my life, and I made an impact in my energy, and I made an impact in my clothing, and I made such a big impact. And how did I do that? And I did that through daily exercise. So it was just small little things that I did, not big exasperating things, but little things, right? And unlike most programs that are out there, they're talking about, hey, you do this, and we need to get you on this program, and we need to push. And I never felt like that was really the best way to go about it. What I did feel was that going about it in small daily steps and working together with other people and being accountable helped me along the way. So I'm going to read this to you. In the silent whisper of dawn, when the world stirs softly from its slumber, your journey begins. Each step is a testament to the strength within, a melody of perseverance that echoes in the rhythm of your heart. Embrace the journey, for it's not the molding of the muscle and fitness, but the foregoing of spirit unwavering, a soul alight with the fire of determination. Define your why. Define why you're doing this, why you're embarking on this, why you're taking an interest in this. You probably already know. Maybe there's people in your life that have talked to you about it. Maybe you don't like the person in the mirror anymore. I've been there. Maybe you're saying, you know what? I have to do this for my health, which I hope is the primary reason. And whatever that why is for you, maybe it's getting into your favorite pair of jeans. We'll discuss that soon. If that's what it is, great. Then do that. That's your why. I need to get into these pair of jeans. Whatever motivates you, because when the going gets tough, my good friend Stan Cottrel always said, which I'll tell you in a second. He always said, Lord, give me 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. He always says 5 more minutes. Now, this is an 80-year-old man who last year ran from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C., cross country. I think it was like 78 when he did it, right? And he ran cross country, also a former Marine. And now I was just speaking with Stan the other day, and Stan said, hey, at 80 years old, I'm going to run 1,000 miles in Vietnam. Unbelievable. He starts that trek in May. And he always says, Lord, just give me 5 more minutes. That's his mantra. And I say, let's stick to it. But you don't have to join a gym and spend a lot of money to get started. Don't get overwhelmed with having to participate in a gym. Don't get overwhelmed with saying, I have to make these big changes. Don't get overwhelmed, because you don't have to become a fitness expert and say, you know what, overnight, I'm going to do all these things. Because it seems like when we talk to our families and friends and we say, we're going to do this thing overnight, and they go, yeah. Right? Yeah. Good luck with that. Let me see how you do in 3 months, right? So they get frustrated because they go full bore this in the beginning of the year or something like that. This resolutions that they're making. And then they get frustrated with all the workout hours, and they don't turn into an Adonis overnight, and they're saying, why am I so frustrated going from this to this? And it's because you're not taking small calculated steps towards your future, right? And so action steps would be like, study some low intensity daily physical activities that you can do, that you can incorporate in your day. Incorporate these into your daily routine, and then start to reduce some of the sedentary habits. Reduce how much screen time you have sitting in front of a television, or how much resting time that you have. Or, take a look at your phone and say, you know what does my screen time look like? And then realize, hey, I'm looking at my screen more than I am getting out there and exercising, and just start to readjust a little bit. Not big changes, but a little bit. So study these low intensity daily physical activities that are practiced in the blue zone. So let's go back to the philosophy in the blue zone and take a look at what they're doing. Now, they're not sitting in Platinum Fitness. They're not in Gold's Gym. In fact, I don't even think they have a Gold's Gym in these places, right? Or Planet Fitness in these places. And someone's probably out there saying, oh, you can go to Planet Fitness in Okinawa. Probably can, right? But point is that in Sardinia, there's not a Planet Fitness. So what are they doing for exercise in those areas? And what are we saying that we can't do this, right? And so some of the excuses might be, and we're all faced with excuses, but some of those excuses would say, I don't have enough time. I don't have the motivation, which is why we say define your why. And I don't have access, right? But those are just what they are, excuses. And excuses work. Like, don't get it twisted. Excuses work. But do they really work for you? That's the real question. Everyone has an excuse, but do they work for you? So study these low intensity physical activities in the blue zone without joining a membership, right? Look at what's going on in your community. There might be workouts. There's walking people. There's people in walking. There's people that are doing yoga in the park. There's Tai Chi. But even if you get out with your own family or yourself, or even some friends, and you started walking uphill, and we heard from Stacy Chillemi before, and she talked about how she got on the treadmill and she did this vertical access like this, right? A vertical, and really intensified it. Turns out in the blue zones, when you do your research in the blue zones, they're on these hilly areas and they have rises to them and everything else. So the people have to like walk up these long walkways to get to their church, to get to a place that they want to get to the market and everything else. So they're walking a lot. And it's intensified because they're at a slant. So something to consider when you're walking, and also think about, maybe I want to get onto a treadmill with a vertical slant. Okay. But I want to like pull this back a little bit, because you could say, well, why are you talking about this? Like, why are you doing this? And I'll tell you that for me, being 50, I'm starting to look at my longevity, which I should have been looking before, and saying, okay, what am I going to look like, or how am I going to feel beyond 50? What do I want for my health journey? And I had to make an intervention, as you saw, because I was overweight and my cholesterol was off the charts and I couldn't walk and my legs were blown up and I was triggering I'm pre-diabetic now because of it, right? I got that under control. But I started just walking every day on a cell phone. I just said, every meeting I'm going to take on a call, I'm going to go ahead and just get on a call and start doing these phone calls on the phone, right? And I practiced this, every day, this long thing. And I also did desk exercises where I was working out at my desk and I stretch and I get up and I work out. I have small weights that I use, right? And then I spent like time with my children doing swimming and walking and walks after dinner, and just walking with my children and talking with them and really getting to know my children better during these times, right? Using my time effectively, but also getting my exercise in. And I lost 45 pounds. My BMI went from 29 to 22. My blood pressure came back down to regular levels. My mental and health stress also improved. And then I had increased in energy levels and endurance. I mean, I can engage more in activities. I was happier. I was more involved in things, more involved with my kids. So you have to look at these exercises and say, why can't I do this? Or what excuses do I have to do this? Well, it could be lack of direction. It could be a mental block, or it could be your environmental access, right? Like, I don't have access to do these kinds of things and everything else, but you can buy 5 pounds weights. You can buy 10-pound weights and have it in your home and have this available. You can buy rubber bands and have this and do rubber band exercises at your desk. But you can incorporate these activities into your daily life without becoming a fitness expert, right? And it's just small steps add to a big journey, right? I mean, here's a man with his son out there on a hike. These small steps can lead to big things. So what could those small steps be? Very simple. Could be walking, Tai Chi, yoga, cycling on a bike, swimming and water aerobics, Pilates, stretching, gardening, household chores, and dance. These things, reduce the stress on your joints for swimming. They low impact on a stationary bike. Yoga, there's so many different places that you can participate in yoga for free. Dance. I mean, these are simple things. I want to dance, just stop for a moment when nobody's looking and just dance. I do this almost 4 nights a week. I just dance, right? Household chores. Stop looking for the convenient way and start looking at the practical way of doing household chores. Light gardening or stretching or even Pilates, these things, investigate them so you can start improving your life, daily life, and eliminate some of these sedentary habits. Reduce the screen time. Track your walks and steps. It's fun. And get an accountability partner. Work with someone that's in your zone, that's in your mentality, or just someone that you check in with your weight and what you did for the day or what you did for the week. And just have an accountability partner. So crucial to have somebody that you can talk to about this, right? And reduce your sedentary habits and improve your fitness. As you can see, this lady's and just dancing while she's cleaning, she's burning calories and having a good time. Now, remember, desk jobs, you can have a bike underneath there. You can have your weights, the home activities like watching TV or just use the commercial breaks to do some activities, active commuting, walk to the store instead of driving to the store. You could do it if it's a mile, 2 miles, just walk. You could do that and not stress yourself out. But schedule your workouts, schedule them so that you're accountable to yourself and to others. And put some variety in exercise. I don't swim every day, but I add swimming into it. I don't, run every day, but I run into this. Something about running that you could do, which is really incredible, is that you can walk and then sprint and then stop and relax and even lay down, and your body thinks it triggers the flight fight response, and all of a sudden your body's saying, hey, we were just attacked. And your body starts to use more nutrients. Really, really incredible. And you can get out there and get social. Now, I just want to put this up there that it's possible to change. That is my pants before last year, December. That's not Photoshop. That is me in my pants. And as sad as that to say, I'm glad I made those small changes every day to make a big difference. So study the low intensity. This is your homework. Study the low intensity physical activities that you can do. Incorporate these into your daily life, and then eliminate the sedentary habits to improve your fitness, right? Make sure you download the cheat sheet, which we have available. And I'll put it in the description. And remember, Quantus Life is here to help support you and your daily goals. So I try to make this as quickly as possible, but we're going to have this recording on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook channel so that you can go ahead and watch it again and again. And I'll also make sure that we have the link available so you can download the program and look at this and study it and help you along in your journey. See you next week, 2 p.m. Thanks for watching.